Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, you gotta sit that through me. Did he say it fit him right, feel good? It clearly has to, because if it was a shitty shirt, people would just be having that bitch off of him too. Oh, y'all wasn't supposed to hear that part. My bad. I forgot we was recording.
It's okay. We can cut it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sick of It Saturdays.
Well, I'm not really sick of it. Well, you know what? There are some things I'm sick of. Let's get into it. What are you sick of on this Saturday?
I'm pretty sick of a lot of things this Saturday, man.
Can you name what are you sick of outside of the the University of Michigan Wolverines losing against the Michigan State University Spartans? Aside from that, what are you sick of?
I'm sick of the way you just presented that. First of all, I'm real sick of how you just presented that. I'm sick of
I'd like to be detail oriented and provide as much detail as I possibly can when I ask questions.
Duly noted. So with that being said, I'm sick of the coaching staff. I'm sick of the fan base. I'm just sick of it. Okay. You can't come out against a ranked opponent the week before and lay an egg the week after. I'm sick of us making one step in the right direction and then 10 steps in the wrong. I'm sick of West Virginia's gas.
Can you tell us a little bit more about West Virginia's gas since you've mentioned it?
I sure will, because I'm not in my vicinity. I took a trip.
Your jurisdiction?
Yeah, jurisdiction. And on my way to the Carolinas, I stopped through West Virginia and got some petrol.
Which is a place I normally do not stop in.
Oh, I didn't want to. I didn't want to, but I had to look at it like this.
Shout out to West Virginia.
Yeah, right out. Shout out to the volunteers. You know what I'm talking about? Aren't they the volunteers? Is that what they
are? No, that would be the University of Tennessee. They are the
Mountaineers.
The Mountaineers, correct.
Mountain volunteers. Shout out to the Tears. To all the Tears out there.
Shout out to Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. Great song.
Shout out to the Tears, man. Anywho, I'll stop there knowing I wasn't supposed to stop, but I stopped regardless because I had to put two scenarios in my head. One, stop now, get you some gas before the sun goes down and you're in the mountains with no gas. And in Hicktown, sorry for those who are in Hicktown, with no light, or get some now and get as close as possible to your destination as you can. You know what I'm saying? So I chose the Hicktown method, and I stopped. I almost got into it with a guy just trying to pull in. Pause.
Oh no! What did you get into it with this gentleman about?
I was trying to turn in, man. I was turning in, and the motherfucker didn't want to let me in. Excuse my French. Shout out to West Virginia. You guys are some true Trump supporters, I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much. It's real Republican representation going on this side of America, boy. I tell you, sheesh.
So what would make you say something like that?
I've seen more Trump Pence signs on this side of town. I mean, this part of the country, than I've seen Obama signs during the second nomination in the Midwest.
Yeah. It's you did cross the Mason-Dixon line to get down here.
Yeah.
Quick sidebar.
I think it's going with it.
Quick sidebar.
Speaking of Mason Dixon,
my colleague and I were, we were just up kicking it last evening, and we were just watching some Looney Tunes cartoons.
I want to say shout out to the Looney Tunes, but I really don't know if I can after that, man.
I can't shout out the Looney Tunes. First of all, the Looney Tunes are extremely toxic and bad for human beings, and we'll get into that in a second. But we stumbled across this cartoon clip. It was Yosemite Sam.
Yep.
And Bugs Bunny. And Yosemite Sam was dressed like a Confederate soldier. He had the gray, uniform.
And his job was to defend the Mason-Dixon line.
Right. Nobody was supposed to come down south.
With orders from General Grant.
General Lee.
Oh, Lee. I'm sorry. Damn, my bad. Lee was from the north. My bad. But he had orders to make sure no Yankee crossed those lines.
And Bugs Bunny, being who he is,
toxic. He's so toxic.
He pushed the envelope, to say the least. And so he crossed the Mason-Dixon line, and what ensued was probably some of the most racist
God
shit I have seen in a cartoon in my entire life.
I felt like it was the Betty Boop days of cartoon, how they tried to show this blackface portrayal, because it was god awful, bro. That was just like, whoa.
Yeah. So after Yosemite Sam pulled out the hammer, and
he keep the blicky on him. Shout out to him keeping the blick though, man. No matter what time and era they had him in, he kept that blicky on him, man.
He definitely keeps that boy on him. So he's shooting at Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny, he makes his way back across the Mason-Dixon line, and he's dressed as what I had perceived to be like a caricature of a black person.
He was playing it's not the ukulele. He was playing the
fiddle,
the banjo.
The banjo.
He walked across the line playing the banjo.
He's like, "Oh, sir.
Ew, no,
please, sir.
Please don't hurt me, sir." And he passes what threw me. First of all, him coming across with the banjo. He walks across, and Yosemite Sam sees him, and he says, "Yo, boy."
Not boy.
Why don't you play me a little something on that little guitar you got? So he starts playing Yankee Doodle Went to Town.
Yeah, which is obviously a violation because they are south of the Mason-Dixon line.
So once Yosemite hears this song, he say, "Oh, whoa, Yankee Doodle." So he runs up to him, like it calls him a traitor. And as he does, Bugs Bunny, man, oh my God, he turns into the most stereotypic slave blackface character I've ever seen.
What was he doing? Do you recall what it was that he was doing?
Well, first and foremost, he passed Yosemite Sam a whip.
Oh.
Please don't whip me, boss. Please. It gets down on his all fours.
I believe he used the word massa.
Oh, I'm sorry, massa. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Massa, please don't hit me. I'm so sorry, massa.
Yeah.
So he does that and goes out the scene. And 2 seconds later, he comes back as Honest Abraham Lincoln.
Shout out to Abraham Lincoln. He got a couple shout outs in the last presidential debate. Shout out to Abraham Lincoln.
Shout out to Abe, man. Honest Abe. Needless to say, that was one of the most racist, diabolical scenes I've ever seen.
It was pretty diabolical
in my existence. Like that was bad, bro.
Yeah.
Sidebar. While we're on the topic of Looney Tunes, we need to be finding out who the fuck wrote these cartoons. Okay, could we do that? Could we make that a goal while we were locking up pedophiles and things of that nature?
Listen, we in the cancel culture. Whoever these writers are, they need to be canceled immediately. So we watched a highlight of Looney Tunes cartoons, and it was a highlight of like the most violent like interactions between these characters. Like, first of all, every Looney Tune character is strapped. Apparently,
Everybody.
everybody.
You gotta keep that blick. Look, shit get down, shit goes crazy around Merry Melodies. You hear me? You gotta have a strap on you.
Damn, the number of weapons that were drawn and put into people's faces.
Who are the creators of Acme? Acme, look, y'all got the best weaponry I've ever seen. Their arsenal is unlimited, bro. They have grenades.
Yeah.
They have giant bow and arrows. But sidebar, damn that. Within this Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes phase we went through, we probably saw one of the biggest pedophiles.
Oh, before you get to my man's, before you get to the R. Kelly version of of a Looney Tunes character, what I can say is whoever owns Acme weapons of mass destruction, whatever they're in the business of selling, I'm pretty sure. Well, you know what? I wonder who they vote for. Anyway, who you were talking about?
I think it might be. Nope, I ain't gonna even say it.
No, we don't.
No, we ain't going there. We ain't going there.
So you said Pepe
Le Pew is the biggest pedophile I have ever seen in my entire life. While we locking up Kelly and Bill Cosby for dropping pills, this dude was on land, bro. He swam the 7 seas to physically assault a cat. It wasn't even a skunk. He thought it was a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, he thought it was a skunk, but it was a cat the whole time. No smell, no nothing.
Yeah.
He seen a stripe on her back, and he was physically
went
abusing this feline. Where's FEMA when you need it?
So shout out to Dave Chappelle. He did a joke like this and killing him softly. But man, the premise of every single episode of the Pepe Le Pew clips are there's a cat, and this cat just happens upon some paint or.
Why are they painting all the time in France?
I don't know. So the premise is, there's a cat. She's a black cat. She happens upon some paint, so she might fall on the paint. And so that creates a stripe on her back.
And then she's all game.
Oh my gosh. She becomes prey at this point.
Ring the bell at that particular time.
So, hey, CJ.
Hey, Siege.
So, White Stripe perceived as a skunk now, and so Pepe Le Pew proceeds to sexually assault her for the next 5 minutes.
No holds barred. When I tell you, he's holding her like these, man. Oh, like, whoa, wait a minute. And we were children watching.
This is what we watched as children. Small children, these are the cartoons that we consumed.
Man, we literally sat there and watched these guys playing a card game, and all this guy asked him, "Hey, man, I got this. What do you have?" And the guy literally put a 357 revolver in his mouth so far
that the barrel.
Poked out the back
barrel
of his neck.
Stuck out the back of his neck. What?
So while our parents were concerned with us watching shows like Beavis and Butthead and South Park because they cursed, and we were already scorned. We were already it was done for us.
They were cool. They were cool about Looney Tunes
because we were every Saturday morning. I could picture myself eating some honeycombs or some smacks because my mom ain't want to get all my favorite cereals. So she gave me can't forget the Frosted Flakes those days and shit, and I'm sitting there watching a coyote chase a damn bird, not to catch him, but just to kill him the whole time. He came up with different strategies every episode to try to kill this bird.
Murder.
What if that bird wasn't that fast and he actually killed him? Will we still have another Wile E. Coyote cartoon?
I think you bring up a good point that he was just merely trying to murder him. Like that's pretty impactful. Like he wasn't looking for food. He wasn't looking for. He was just
premeditated murder. Yeah, he used to be in his. Sometimes he'd be in a cave, or this cave was his house or something. He'd have a whole wall full of ways he's trying to kill this bird. But I never even seen a coyote eat a roadrunner in my life. Can somebody Google that? I've never seen on National Geographic. I've never seen it on the Discovery Channel.
So let's talk about Wiley's bank account, because he was funding. He was purchasing a lot of
Hey man,
wartime supplies to commit this homicide.
Hey, my man's got a lifetime supply of Acme, man. Shout out to Acme, man. They definitely look out for their
Yeah, he had the Acme Prime subscription. That was you telling me? He had the Acme Prime.
Hey, my man's got busy with Acme, man. I guess if you spend a meal, I mean, unless we can give you some free stuff, because they
free stick of dynamite.
You get one call and they pull it up. Sometimes they bring trucks, sometimes they bring a helicopter, whatever the case. They give him what he need, all in a 6-minute video. Like he was getting on, man. But I also well, we want you to know this, parents. Thanks for screwing our minds up a long time ago. Letting us watch this Looney Tunes. We saw a pedophile. We saw a guy who was just super toxic. We saw a liar. We saw thieves. We saw things that could have been death. We saw a lot of stuff, man. So don't just blame society. It wasn't just society. It was some damn Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You know what I also thinking now that we saw that how racist that was?
Yeah.
I think they portrayed the Tasmanian devil as a black man.
So I'm gonna ask you to go a little deeper there.
As far as like, he's just a wild cannibal, man. They always just wanted to maintain him, and you know what I'm saying. But he just was. Y'all used to come to his land and fuck with him,
right? And he used to just go ballistic, just tearing everything up, like, and for no reason.
No remorse.
You might have a point there, because he didn't really speak English like he was supposed to. Like,
you know, wow. Yep, see,
yeah.
Hey, look, Looney Tunes, we on y'all ass. Just know that. Listen, at the end of the day, we on your quality ass.
And he was one of the few brown characters. Yeah,
but he was the wildest one.
Oh man,
even Sylvester ain't get that much disrespect, and he just couldn't catch Tweety. He was the other black one we had.
Well, these were horrible individuals. These were absolutely horrible characters. Like, talk to us about Muggsy and Rocco. Was it Muggsy and Rocco?
Rocky and Muggsy, man. Shout out to Rocky, man. Rocky, my man's too. I can't lie. I got Rocky on me, man. Rocky, even though he was supposed to be, I guess, an Italian mob. First of all, that was stereotypical in its own, okay? Because Rocky was talking like Al Pacino in Lucky Lefty movie. You know what I'm saying? But he used to be. They showed us gangster shit, man. They used to hit licks, man. They robbed a bank, right? The cartoon started off them robbing a bank, getting the bag, going back to their hideout. So then Rocky proceeds to tell this man's Muggsy, yo, bro, get some sleep so you can be rested for this other lick we have to. The other lick. So as he just trying to take a nap, Muggsy just get to tripping. And he put the burner on him. He stumped him out.
He slapped him quite a few times.
Like, it was so much violence and things that we weren't supposed to see at a young age going on.
So Looney Tunes, it ran the gambit. We were talking about some racism. We were talking about violence, sexual assault. Just delinquency, because we were talking like Bugs was he was a troublemaker, man.
Yeah,
he had no good intentions, like, ever.
But we spoke about this yesterday. I look at Bugs. He was easily provoked. See, Bugs didn't know how to take well, you can have it this time. Yeah, he didn't care. He could have left a lot of stuff alone, but he decided to be petty and go into stuff like, because certain times where he lived, people were just trying to build upon it, trying to better their community. And he just had a problem with that. Like,
and Elmer Fudd was coming. He was hunting them.
Yeah,
he would be hunting wabbits.
He had the blicky out there all the time.
The shotty.
Nobody shot faster than Yosemite Sam, though. They didn't even start the cartoon. He bust a shot. Like, wow,
what you said? Like, he was shooting one time. He didn't take the gun out the holsters. He was shooting, and he'd be lifted up off the ground.
So much violence. So much violence. I'm so glad we got this mic, man. We about to be on here talking so much shit.
Yeah,
y'all.
We just went off on a whole tangent. A whole tangent about Looney Tunes.
Make sure you chop this up. When you edit it, get these bits and pieces of the good stuff out of there, because we need to post this kind of stuff, because people probably was watching Looney Tunes thinking the same damn thing.
Got to. For sure.
Because that's a revolutionary ass cartoon right there, man. Because I could sit there and watch Looney Tunes right now, but it's just hit totally different because I know what the fuck going on. Like, sheesh.
Hashtag problematic. Yeah. Really, like, when you start looking back at the history of a lot of cartoons, like if you start looking into like Disney, it gets pretty nasty. Yeah. It gets pretty nasty.
I left Disney alone a long time ago, man. Mickey Mouse didn't rub me the right way, man.
Well, what's your beef with Mickey Mouse?
I feel like Mickey was just like Mickey was soft as hell, man. First he was soft as hell. Donald Duck was blacker than anybody on Disney to me. I don't know why, because Donald ain't give a fuck. He was always mad. His uncle was the Scrooge.
That's true.
Well, that's why he was pissed. He was broke, man. He had nephews that used to piss him
Shout out to DuckTales.
Shout out to DuckTales, man. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They was gang banging.
Shout out to nepotism. Like, this nigga would go swimming in a vault full of his own money. Like, that's impressive. That's certainly impressive.
And he did have a great time.
He did.
And
he had no other purpose. He had no other purpose to jump into his vault full of cash.
I got a question.
But just to swim.
Where do you find that many gold coins?
I don't know.
I don't even know rich people have gold coins. Rich people, do y'all have gold coins? How about a safe of them that went all the way up? Like, because that was like a 10-foot pool he was dropping in with them coins. Yeah. And how did you dive in coins?
All right, okay, you taking a deep dive right now. Maybe what was the initial question?
That was just the edibles, man. That was just the edibles. I said, no, we were talking about Mickey Mouse. I just don't like Mickey Mouse. I don't know, man. What was that movie he had when he used to the magician and doing all that extra shit?
Fantasia.
I hated that.
Yeah. So original version of Fantasia, if you don't know, is very racist. There's a image of a pickaninny, like a young black character with like their hair all, tied up, black face. It's pretty bad. Obviously, that's not the version we see now, but that's
Mickey Mouse.
Did Disney.
I don't fuck with you, Mickey Mouse. Just know that my daughter loves your spot, but I don't fuck with you, man. I can't fuck with Mickey Mouse, man. I can't do it. I can't. They used to do my man Pete so bad in Disney. You remember Pete, Goof Troop Pete? Pete wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah.
Pete was a brown skinned man trying to make it in society.
Yeah.
And Goofy used to be hating on him. Fucking goof.
Goofy was just a lumbering idiot, man. He, just one of them dudes that you hate to see around. Like, yeah.
And what was this? Pluto. Pluto would never be funny as Snoopy. Two dogs that never talked. Snoopy had it mastered, man. Pluto
So
was a punk.
so we know like Mickey Mouse is a mouse, right? Uh Daffy Duck is a duck, right? I'm assuming. What is Goofy? What is his species?
Isn't Goofy like Bob?
And what is Bob?
Like a wiener dog? Would he be a wiener dog?
That's what I'm asking. Is he a dog?
I think Goofy has a tail. Doesn't he?
I don't know. CG. What is Goofy? What species of animal is Goofy?
I believe he's a dog.
Oh.
I mean, he got long ears.
Basset hound, maybe.
Basset hound.
Oh.
Okay. But they owned Pluto.
But they had a dog.
But they had a dog. Or was that Mickey's dog?
That was Mickey dog. But why Goofy ain't never say nothing about that? You just gonna have my man on a leash? So you can't have your own rights, Pluto? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself, Disney. Y'all just did shit ass backwards just to take money. You should be ashamed of yourselves, okay?
Subliminal oppression.
Jesus. And y'all was just as racist, Looney Tunes. Holy moly. Come on, Boondocks. We need to be racist now. We need some old Boondocks episodes. Just lay it on thick.
Good show. Good show.
Damn good show. Rest in peace, Pops. John Witherspoon.
Yeah. CJ, what cartoon did you like watching when you were growing up?
Gargoyles.
Gargoyle.
They had a code that they lived by.
They did.
Yeah.
They had the essence of time was also very pressing.
Got to make every minute
They
count.
had a mission,
Every minute.
and the essence of time being of the essence was always an aspect of the mission.
There was always a sense of urgency, like because they had to be up to the tower
Before daytime, right?
before daytime.
But it turned to stone. Before daybreak.
Shout out to the Gargoyles, man.
But that's the thing about we talk about the Looney Tunes, but if you think about some of our cartoons, they had some mature themes. Like we think about like Batman animated series. You think about
what was the theme of
Gargoyles.
Batman's? What was the theme of Batman?
Well, he had a lot of different themes. I mean, ultimately, Batman, Bruce Wayne lost his parents, and so the feeling that he felt, he never wanted anybody else to feel that feeling. So he decided to take it upon himself to be a masked vigilante.
I'm gonna say
save
this.
Gotham.
I've had some of the best naps after school off watching Gargoyles and Batman the animated series. Some of the best naps. I didn't even want to go to sleep, but they were so serious. Batman just come on there like, yes. So Robin.
It's a pretty good. Pretty good.
Hey Robin, Mr. Freeze is over there at the such and such. Alfred, get the Batmobile ready. No problem, sir. Was Alfred supposed to be a black man too?
No, he's from England, London, England, I think.
So what made him? Shout out to Batman though. The animated series was pretty good though. It was pretty good, man. The Gargoyles were sweet.
Yeah, and they were also underground. Nobody knew they were out there doing this.
Yeah, I never thought of a statue to come.
Real strong underlying themes. They were protecting society. It's just it's almost like the Navy SEALs, There's just this force that's right beneath the surface that nobody knows or thinks about that's just making all this shit happen.
But they putting in all these quality minutes.
Minutes.
That fact that nobody thinks about that part.
That's true.
Their own safety and livelihood is hinged on the activities of this underground system, these unnamed soldiers,
Shout out to this defined definition of gargoyles that we just received.
I would encourage you to write an op-ed piece, maybe about
of the gargoyles,
the connection of gargoyles and social justice, and the connections to and the themes.
Because I always thought it was a bunch of statue niggas trying to go fight crime.
Not statue niggas.
If they didn't finish the mission by the next day, something was gonna pop off.
That's true.
Was going to pop off.
Yeah.
They had to get it done.
Okay, I got one for you. So out of your after school heroes, what was your favorite after school hero cartoon? You had the Power Rangers, you had the Gargoyles, clearly, Batman.
I think it depends on the time in life, right? I think for maybe like 3 or 4 years, like I was rocking with the Power Rangers. Like I just like middle school, definitely the Power Rangers, man.
How racist and stereotypical is the Power Rangers?
From an adult mind, would they still be your favorite?
Not mine, because I feel so bad about the Black Ranger that it pisses me off. Why does this Black Ranger always have to dance? Why
and he's the Black Ranger that just happens to wear a black uniform. And the Asian.
Yeah, the talkin in there attract all the kids.
He used to do some of the most ridiculous dances too. He didn't wear some of the weakest ass outfits I've ever seen. We don't even talk about.
Well, ultimately, that was his value. Like it was his contribution to the show was he danced. Like like Jason was the leader. Billy was like smart. You know what I mean?
Dancing. Oh, you want me to
Kimberly was like the cute girl that everybody liked.
What about the Asian chick? Who was she supposed to be?
Trina.
She was supposed to be Asian.
She was there to be Asian. she was yeah.
She was just there to be Asian.
She was there to be Asian, just like Zach was there to be black, and he was there to be black and dance. They couldn't make him good at math because that would be ridiculous. They had to make sure that he was a break dancer in the 90s.
Nobody was breakdancing in the 90s.
Yeah, well, as we were at 1995. Yeah.
Whatever happened to? But no, they did make an upgrade though, because she didn't. We actually had a point in time where we had 2 Black Rangers. Remember that video? It was in the movie. The Yellow Ranger was black.
That was Aisha. But you said 2?
Because Zach was still there. We had the Black Ranger still.
Oh, you're right. But yeah, I remember because after a while, Trina left and then Aisha took over. And after a while, there was another black girl named Trina. No, not Trina. Tanya.
Tanya? I gave up on Power Rangers after Trina, man. Yeah. I gave up, man. I said it's enough of this crap. And then the episodes that they gave the Black Rangers, like the actual black people who played Rangers, were so weak. Like Zach had to dance and beat putties up. Like he had to keep dancing or some shit was gonna happen to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Hip hop, hip keto. So here's what I appreciate about the Power Rangers is the beauty of teamwork. Because if you think about it, before they like took all their robots and put them together, they were getting their ass beat. Like every episode is the same thing, right?
You want to know why? Because a mastodon is not really kicking no ass out here in these streets. I mean, but it could.
Come on, man. Who chooses the mastodon? Mastodon?
A pterodactyl flying in.
A historic elephant? A prehistoric elephant? That's I would have been pissed if I was in the whatever the little headquarters was, and that was the
mastodon.
That was the animal that I got assigned.
Even the Asian had a tiger.
You know what I mean? The mastodon?
You give me a
bro. Jason had a T-Rex.
Yeah. Tommy had a goddamn dragon and a falcon.
He did. And then the mastodon.
Oh, well, at the same time, Billy had the Triceratops. He was a herbivore. He wasn't doing nothing. But he still fuck you up though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got the 3 horns coming. I think I'd be a little bit more worried. I don't know. It's just Mastodon. It just sounds
okay.
weak.
In another way, elephants are feared throughout Africa to this day.
Oh yeah, elephants kill a lot of people, but I think just at first listen. You know what I mean?
Just slide across the screen.
Right. It's like if you walk into my house and I'm like, I want you to be careful around my Labrador Retriever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Labrador Retrievers are dogs that bite, but they do bite. Statistically,
yeah, they're pretty soft though.
But when you hear Labrador, you're like, oh. So when you hear Mastodon, that's what I hear.
Well, today's podcast is sponsored by Jack Daniels. Get quiet. In the minutes,
sponsored by Quality Minutes LLC.
You know what? Did we already get into it? No, let's get into it.
Get into what?
Today's game, because we didn't do it on this one.
Okay, all right. Are you able to have this conversation safely?
Let me see them shades, man. Pass me the shades, man. Let me see those shades right quick, man. Because I need to be blacked out when I talk my ish on this one. Excuse me. Oh.
Shout out to my wife.
Shout out to Mrs. Williams, man.
Passing us drinks while we're talking.
Salute, my brethren.
Salute.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sick of it. It's officially Sick of It Saturday. Before I even start, happy Halloween to all the children. I hope y'all have a great time out there. Those parents that are not in shape, I know it's going to be a hard one for y'all. If you're out there trick-or-treating, I understand. Keep your head up. But back to topic, I'm sick of it.
Just for all my folks who, all my healthy-minded and health-conscious individuals, we appreciate your dedication to health, but stop giving out trash treats at Halloween. Nobody wants an apple.
Nobody
in their bag.
Nobody.
Yeah, we don't want any Cliff Bars.
Please no. Please no.
Stick to the Snickers and Twix, please. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
What are you sick of?
I'm sick of the I can't even say the regret. How do I want to put this? University of Michigan football. You guys are like dating an ex, right? That you keep going back to, knowing it ain't shit.
Oh man. That's
what I'm saying?
That's a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it hurts, man, because you see the potential in them, and it's like things that just based off just potential alone can bite you in the ass. And it seems to me that year after year, that sometimes y'all have like your good phases, like hey, everything's cool, but then when you really put the trust in them, they become your ex again, and they screw you.
Yes, potential can be poisonous. Potential can be poisonous.
I agree.
That's a word.
For sure. And we've been poisoned for 6.5 years now, man. We are 1-6.
Probably a little longer, but go ahead.
Hey, my mans. Anywho.
I'm just here for support.
They had a great stat that came across the screen today. They're 1-for-6 against rival opponents at home. Just two, our main rivals, just our two main rivals.
Jim Harbaugh is 1 of 6 against his rivals at home.
At home. Now the big house.
Now we're talking about the big house. 115,000.
One of the biggest stadiums.
Michigan fans supporting
college
you
history, yeah,
and backing you and giving you positive energy, and you can't pull out a victory against your rivals.
You can't even be 500. They're not even 500. And he's not to say that these teams aren't good teams. They have good teams. And during rival games, certain teams step the bar up. But you're 1-6 at the house.
At the big house.
We got rid of Rich Rod fast. We got rid of Brady Hoke fast. Which I'm glad about. I can't say that, but Brady Hoke did win against Ohio State. We see you. Shout out to you, Brady.
Here's the question. Is it time to get rid of Jim Harbaugh?
Hands down. Yes. It's time to go. But it's like, where do we go?
I don't know, because it's not like, okay, so the Michigan football team has not been the bottom of the barrel, right?
Right.
So what you would have to get is somebody who gets you to the promised land. Like that's who the alternative would be. Because Jim Harbaugh gets you a winning season every single season. He's just not getting you the big victories against Ohio State and Michigan State. So what's the alternative?
And those two wins determine if we have a winning season. Because if we lose to those two, one of those two, that makes us the second place in the conference or our division. Either way. And so it's just bad all around, man, honestly. Because the Big Ten is top heavy. It's not bottom heavy. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's starting to get there. You know, you got Illinois and things like that trying to build up a program down there with Levy. Shout out to Levy, man.
I think
we got a pretty solid division now.
Honestly, I would
years ago, though,
argue that right now the Big Ten in the last several years, Big Ten has probably the most. I mean, again, you got Ohio State, which is like top tier, but I think you have a good even distribution of talented teams across the Big Ten, because you will have a season where Penn State is really good, or Minnesota is really good, or like a Northwestern is pretty good. Like you have teams that are pretty solid each year. Wisconsin, Iowa.
But see, a lot of times you might have seasons where Minnesota and stuff really good, but they don't play the top tiers like Michigan, and they have those years where they don't play the top tier guys to be that good. You know what I'm saying? Which I get, but I don't get. But I see what you're saying.
But I mean, if I guess it depends on who you're playing outside of your conference.
My whole thing is this too: the University of Michigan did not pay Jim Harbaugh to be okay.
It's true.
They didn't pay him all this money to be
mediocre.
Exactly. Middle of the pack at most, because Penn State has outshined them in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Ohio State, Michigan State over the last 5 years, honestly. I mean, just in the later parts, they were starting to get a little worse than us. But other than that, that's not what they brought you in for. You were a coach in a Super Bowl a few years before that.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
Very tough.
But it's time to clear our house, man. Clean house, man. Even if we can't find somebody right now, maybe the assistant coaches were telling him certain things, and they might have ideas, and they might actually be great coaches underneath. We don't know.
So I do want to provide some rationale as to why, like, we're having this coach conversation. And part of it is because if you watch the last 7 minutes, probably like 6 or 7 minutes of that game.
Let me take a shot, please. Let me take a shot.
If you watch the last 6-7 minutes of the game, it's probably one of the most poorly managed.
Oh my God.
Poorly managed offensive. What's the word I'm looking for?
Drives
that I had seen. Like Michigan State went down to score, and they were up 10.
Pitch and catch.
Right. And so they were up 10 points at the end of, with 3 minutes left. And then Michigan has the ball, and this is 2-minute offense. So people need to be lining up. We need to be moving with urgency.
And we're a little bit less than 2 minutes. It's like maybe 140, 130 on the clock. And
mind you, there's 3 minutes left. Oh, no. There's 2-3 minutes left. You got all your timeouts left.
All timeouts. And you're doing 5-yard hitches. in the middle of the field. Nobody's getting out of bounds. And then you're running the ball. And then you end up running the ball. Like Michigan State had to burn a timeout. Like they didn't have to. They're up. They up already. So what do you
Then
Jim Harbaugh, you have to go.
There was another instance where we kind of had some discussions around. There was one drive in particular where Joe Milton was slinging it. Right, he was hitting his receivers. They traveled all the way down the field, and what's the offensive coordinator decide to do?
Wow.
They pull Joe Milton out, who had completed several passes.
Great drive. It was maybe a 11-play drive.
He decided to go with the Wildcat.
2 plays straight. And you start off the first Wildcat play with the original Wildcat direct snap, straight up the gut run. Didn't work at all. Stopped at the line. Boom. Instead of reconsidering your options, you come back in the same formation.
Throw a pass.
A jump pass. Not just a regular pass. A jump pass. You're not Tim Tebow. I didn't even like when Tim Tebow did it. He got a national title.
So I know you could always say it only if, but if he would have thrown that pass a little higher, a little farther, that would have been touchdown.
I still would have been mad at the play.
Yeah, not a great play call.
Come on, Josh Gaddis. Come on now.
On that drive, Joe Milton was the best player on the field. You don't take your best player off the field when you're trying to score.
And when they hot,
when it's first, second, or third and goal, you don't take your best player off the field.
And he's in rhythm. He's running. He's seeing his reads. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And you take him off the field to do some trickery? We didn't have to do trickery.
I guess they said it is October 31st. So we're going to hit him with the trick.
Hey, man, I ain't going to lie, man.
It wasn't a treat.
I might sound contradictive and everything, but, man, this is one of my fears. I said, man, listen to me. The fact that we play Michigan State on Halloween scares me because of some fluke shit happened. Not to say some fluke shit happened, because we just lost the game today. I can't take I'm not taking any credit away from Michigan State. They went out there. Lombardi, I was talking trash about you the whole time.
Listen, I am a Michigan State supporter. And Lombardi, I had no confidence in you at all.
You were looking like John O'Corn, and
I was really skeptical of the defense as well. And the defense showed up. I was proud of him. And Lombardi, he made all the passes he was supposed to make. And that's a good QB. He made all the passes he was supposed to make.
Michigan, get my favorite college team. And I will have to say, out of all these years of support, I've been through the ups and downs. I've been through the Rich Rodgers. I've been through all this, man. And when I tell you that your cornerbacks are the worst I've ever seen.
They were getting.
Oh, my God.
Sheesh.
They had 6 back-to-back pass interference plays or some shit. It's just ridiculous, just random. And they were getting cooked with just a stop-and-go route. They got beat with the same route like 3 or 4 times in the game, man, and they made them pay for it. Jim Harbaugh, Don Brown, especially with Harbaugh's pro background. Your professional background, man. You went to a Super Bowl. And when you went to the Super Bowl, you had a great defense. Great defense. Mm-hmm. You got a scrambling quarterback. I still don't think Kaepernick can throw, but you had a scrambling quarterback who you was able to get a lot of stuff done with. I feel like your awareness, you have to have an awareness, because when you go out there and the coaches give you a play, he gives you different options to look at. Right now, Joe Milton, he wasn't looking at his options. But at the same time, coaching staff wasn't giving him many options to look at either.
It was some poor play calls towards the end.
Super. I hate the trips. I hate the trips formation so much. We even watched a play where all the receivers ran the same route. You remember that?
I do. It was like 4 of them in the same location, and that's usually a no-no in football.
So
just quick shout out to Michigan State. I'm looking up the stat right now, but you all stuck with the run, even though you were averaging like 1.9 yards a carry, and it was not very productive. You kept the defense honest and you ran the ball. I would have to say today, Michigan State won the coaching challenge, right? Like they
was
outcoached
the
you.
interim coach. But a new coach. No, he's not interim. He's the new coach.
He is the new coach.
Shout out to his first win, man. Shout out
to his first win against Michigan too.
And he's a brother
in
man.
the big house.
You ain't got to go that far, man. Relax.
He is a brother. Yeah, I'm glad your brother.
Yes, but Jesus Christ, it still stings a little bit, man. Can we talk about that tomorrow, man? Because I'm sick. No, because the Lions play tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure the heartache is going to continue over there. Knock on wood, they don't. I don't even want to put that on y'all Lions. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you just heard that little sneak. We just talking about watching Lions, and CG talking about you guys are gonna lose. Isn't that?
That's not a sneak.
That's
just she went straight in.
She's just being honest.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Shout out to everybody who want to bet against me today, man. I don't even know what to say to y'all. It sucks.
Shout out to everybody who went to livequalitymess.com and purchased a Gold Green Horror Hall of Fame collection t-shirt or a Hail Horror Hall of Fame collection t-shirt. Shout out to you all.
Shout out to y'all, man. We got to do better, Michigan. University of Michigan football, we have to do better. I don't know what better is. Like you said, 10-3.
Probably not losing to your rivals. I think that might be the first step to improvement.
Agreed. Tom Brady, I need you to retire so you can be the coach of Michigan football.
Well, he might not be able to coach.
Yeah, you're right.
All really good players, man, that doesn't translate into the ability to lead and guide young players.
Well, you know what? I don't know where we go from here, fellas. I don't know where we go from here.
Where do we?
See, y'all got me all mad and stuff now on the podcast, y'all, man.
It's okay. Just take a drink and you'll be fine.
Don't mind if I do. But needless to say, if they did fire Jim Harbaugh, I even go on the stretch. I go get Les Miles.
That wouldn't be a bad pickup. Now, would Les Miles want to come to Michigan because, they talk about how that position or that community is not an easy place to coach,
right? And it's not.
I've read toxic. People have used the word toxic in terms of like going there and trying to coach. Because I just hear like Brady Hoke just wasn't happy being there.
I'm glad he wasn't happy in there. I am absolutely glad he wasn't happy in there.
Yeah.
And he was an alum. Wasn't he an alum? I think he was an alum.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like if you think of like Rich Rodriguez was a successful coach. Was it West Virginia he was at? He was successful. He was getting wins at West Virginia.
ACC is a whole different monster, though.
West Virginia is Big 12.
Well, Big 12 is a different from the Big 10.
I like just coaching is coaching, man.
Big 10 football was just different, though. He came in with the Big 12 kind of mindset in the Big 10. And at that particular time, the Big 10 was still big and strong. It wasn't really speedy-ish. And they just ran it down our throats at that year, like our rivals anyway.
So I guess my argument to that is, like, again, I think just good coaching just translate across. I know that you have to adjust based on where you are.
And that's true.
But like I don't see the Big Ten as this big physical conference like a lot of people do. Because if that was the case, like we would be winning more.
That is absolutely true.
Right. Like Ohio State, Ohio State has been opening up for the last 10 years, right?
That's the closest thing we got to. Yeah, that's the only one we got to compete with, like the SEC big names.
I mean, Ohio State has had like Heisman candidate QBs because they be tossing that thing, man.
Hey, man, boop you, Ohio State. How about that? Boop you. Sick of it.
Shout out to Ohio State. I don't really have any problem with you.
Boop you. I do. I got a big problem with you.
I don't have any personal issues with you.
You sick of this. This is guy. We're having drinks. We try to enjoy the game. You know, we out here in North Carolina ish. So we having a couple of drinks. So I don't even know what this guy's position was at this establishment we were at. Every 5 minutes he pull it up. Oh yeah, just saying stuff. You gonna buy me a fireball shot? Look, motherfucker, you're lucky it's free. I don't want to cuss you. We ain't playing y'all yet. Get out of my face. Beat it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still bitter, man. I'm still bitter off it, man. It sucks. Shout out to my man who gave me the drink, though, man. He's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Anybody who gives anything away free is a humanitarian.
Because we're not at Quality Minutes. Nothing free. Nothing.
No, you're right. Nothing is free.
Family members included.
Advice can be free. Would you think that advice is free?
Never.
I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
like it depends on your relationship with the person. Like if I give somebody advice, it's, you know, but like there are people who you don't trust and they give you advice because they're expecting something in return.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Give you advice so they can feel good.
Really? And what?
If they're able to advise you, it means that they have one up.
What if you ask for it? Because you can ask without asking. You know what I'm saying? You can.
So
it's always an investment.
Just for logistical purposes, I think we might get an echo when she's talking, but I am looking forward to hearing what she's about to say. I think we got an echo because she's speaking away from the microphone.
No.
Now tell us.
Speak your piece.
I just don't think it's free. Ever. If you and I get to a point at which I can give you my you seek my advice. That means we both paid the cost of investing in that state of the relationship up to that point.
So, like you and I being married, you don't think if I offer some advice that it's not free?
It's prepaid.
It's prepaid.
For advice? Or because advice could just come from
prepaid with what?
Time, energy, effort. Also depends on what you want. Why are you advising?
Well, I want you to be better.
people give their point of views. You know, sometimes point of views can be advice to a certain extent. You know, so you can't necessarily say, you know, yeah, bring it on in. Yeah, you that's kind of touchy. You know what I'm saying?
We might.
I feel like advice could be free. It could be free. Because some people, they give you advice because they already dealing with the same kind of shit. So they say it to you so you don't have to go through the same kind of shit.
All right. All right. Yeah, I think like most things, intention is important, right? And I think it depends on the intention. I think that
have great intentions if that's okay.
Right. It depends on the intention. So, and that's why I brought up trust. Like it depends on your level of trust with a person, you know. So
that's true.
Let me ask a question. Did you it's a touchy subject, but did you get a chance to vote?
Oh, most definitely, man. I got mine in absentee vote on the absentee ballot. I did mine early, man, just to get out the way. Because it's important, man. Even though this one right here is a bit tricky, I think it's very, very important to vote. Our ancestors.
Tricky how? Because
I feel as though both candidates can have their fair share of boo behind them. They both, I say the first debate really hit me hard, man, to see them act like children in front of the nation.
Yeah. Because Barack set a very high bar. He just carried himself with a lot of class.
Yes, he did.
So I don't care what side of the aisle you stand on, Democrat or Republican. Like
Gotta
you gotta
have
admit,
class, man.
right at the end of the day, like he carried himself with a level
You
of
have to.
respectability.
You have the call, the main call on how this country is going to operate. So I need you to act accordingly. I don't care if you have a question or something that you don't like. Don't out talk them, or you know what I'm saying. You got to just hold yourself at a higher
composure.
bar. Shout out to Obama. Shout out to you, Barack. He was in Michigan today too, man. Shout out to Barack and
shout out to Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle and the children. Let's see y'all.
Michelle is we don't deserve Michelle. Michelle is better than all of us. Shout out to the daughters, Sasha, Malia.
Yes, indeed, man.
They weren't involved in those scandals.
And they wanted it so many people wanted so much negativity to come to them, but they didn't. And they went out in such a classy fashion.
Right, one of them goes to Harvard. Like they just,
you know what I'm saying?
They didn't start no OnlyFans page or nothing. Like they just.
And all we can talk about bad about them is Obamacare, please.
Is that
it? Everything else?
Is that it? Is that it?
Jesus. Jesus.
On, man.
It just is.
Creates a public suspicion.
But it could be a suspicion, but the fact that it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted them to be so bad, but they were just the opposite.
So to respond to that, I would argue that like that's innately racist, right? Like if you, yeah, like I would suspect that that's innately racist because you have a black family who appears to be squeaky clean. Nobody's squeaky clean, but appears to be squeaky clean. They handle themselves with class, dignity, and they keep their composure in all situations. And people are like, they got to be up to something. Why they got to be up to something? Maybe they just got their shit together. Maybe that's
because so many people who don't have their shit together, they feel as though they be people just hate, man. Honestly, it's just a lot of hate.
Mm-hmm.
Hate. That's a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the man, he articulated what he spoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was good with the people, like hand in hand. He used cultural figures to, pass his message on. You know what I'm saying? Just positive stuff, man. He came from a harsh environment in Chicago. Where
he had Rick Ross in the Oval Office, like so.
He was hooping with people out there too, man.
You had the boss. You had Rose. And Luda.
Oh. He was hooping with D-Wade and LeBron them in the house, man. Come on, man. Y'all just hooping. And he was giving them buckets from what I heard, too. Shout out to Obama with the hoop game.
And the lefty. Shout out to the lefty.
Shout out, man.
So, yeah, I'm glad you got out to vote.
Definitely, man.
I don't have any problem with anybody, supporting any particular side. I think my biggest issue and I think he was about to get into this, but my issue is like people who like criticize voting, right? Like these non-voters who don't really have a good reason for not voting.
Please.
And you were kind of talking about it like the people who died and bled, to allow us the right to vote.
Yeah, one thing for sure, man. Everything we did as a people, African American, it came with a price.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a price that we can never, ever, like,
Can't take it for granted.
You can't, man. You can't, like. Exactly. Like, they didn't even want us to read.
I know this argument has been made before, but like if our vote didn't matter and it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't take such measures to ensure that we don't vote. You know what I'm saying? Like they
definitely
made it a point to
make it hard for us to
make it hard to not vote. And we're talking like decades and decades and decades of the same.
You get a felony, you can't vote. All that extra stuff. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it used to be literacy tests. They used to try to intimidate us. They would kill people who were driving folks to polls. Like, if you mean to tell me that our vote doesn't count?
It doesn't count.
And they going through all this.
And we got all these. The majority of people in prison who can't vote are Black and Latino people.
Mm-hmm. So imagine if those folks.
And we had the House and the Senate every year, every time.
Intentional. Hashtag intentional.
They know what they're doing out here in these streets, man. We're not blind to it. Here at Quality Minutes, we're not blind.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna tell you all the time.
And then my other thing about those, non-voter people is like,
don't talk to me about change if you ain't doing nothing to try to change.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear it. It's like I'm straight.
Right.
I can't trust you for nothing you talking about then, bro. Like, I'm so man. I'm so tired of the president, man. Whoa. Oh, really? The polls open today. You gonna vote? Man, no, man. I had to work today, man. Whoa.
The polls been open for the last 3 weeks.
Right. Please don't talk about it. Please be about it, man.
Yeah, but don't be complaining. Like, don't complain. You know what I'm saying?
I hate that, man.
Don't complain. If you're not willing to
try to make a change.
If you're not willing to do three things, if you're not willing to educate, if you're not willing to organize, or you're not willing to finance, then you need to shut up. Like,
sometimes people just need to shut the hell up, man. Honestly, man. Because as y'all know on Wednesday, but then
shut the hell up Sundays coming soon.
Because they be worried about the wrong things on Wednesday. It just be.
We just need to create a weekly calendar that we got worried about the wrong things Wednesdays.
Shut the fuck up Sundays. Sit your ass down Saturdays.
Sit your ass down somewhere Saturdays, or sick of it Saturdays.
Oh yeah, sick of it Saturdays, man. I like the Affirmation Fridays we got going.
Affirmation Fridays. Thirsty No, that's been used.
Thursday. What we got on Thursday?
Thick Thursdays.
Not thickies. Thickies.
Motivation Mondays.
Talk your shit Tuesday.
We should do that. Thank you, sweetheart. What is
bubbly?
No, it's not wine in a can. Sparkling wine.
Okay, well, I appreciate it.
Wine in a can?
Okay.
You get can wine?
Watermelon. Is this about race or something like?
Good beverage, quality beverage.
Not bad. So
tap in. Hold on, before we forget as well, man. We have some very, very important updates coming to you on livequalityminutes.com. Real hot exclusive items, merch, things you wouldn't even believe. It's coming to an online store near you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Content. Make sure you follow us on Quality Minutes on YouTube.
Quality Minutes on YouTube.
We need to start us a Twitter page as well.
Follow Quality Minutes on IG, Instagram,
Facebook.
Like the Facebook page.
Shop right now
at livequalityminutes.com. Buy a shirt. Support the movement. Now, not only should you support the movement, but they're really good, comfortable shirts. They're really good shirts.
They are. They're real good shirts, man.
Yeah.
Support a brand that supports you. That's what it's about. You like that one?
I like that. I like to support a brand that supports you.
That's what it's all about, man. Those who have purchased and supported the movement, you got your certificate. Be proud of that. That's for you.
Mm-hmm.
We do this for you, man. Because without you, it would be no us. Without us, it would be no Quality Minutes. You know what I mean? So, salute to y'all, man. Continue to put every minute first. Make every minute count. Be the best person you can possibly be. That's what it's all about, man.
Mm-hmm.
We see you.
Yes. So, how are you making an impact in your family, in your community, and in your life in general? And it's about utilizing all 1,440 minutes of your day.
Yes, indeed, man.
It's not about the number of minutes, but it's the quality of those minutes that makes all the difference in the world. So
because you don't want to be on the wrong end or when those minutes run out and you don't have nothing like you know what I'm saying? Because the minutes can expire anytime.
You know, you know what I think is worse than your minutes just expiring. I think what might be worse is living your entire life and then looking back and realizing that
Knowing you didn't make them count.
and know you didn't make your minutes count like that. I think that might be worse than.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that sounds like it sucks. Just imagine being like 60 and
65 and then looking back and said, man, I haven't done a damn thing.
you still in the same spot you were 64 years ago. Oh God.
Still talking about what you would have done or what you wanted to do, what you
hating
could
on
have
other
done.
people for my mic falling off.
Oh, a travesty to be 70 years old. You know, your health deteriorating and saying, damn, like what did I do?
Nothing.
Did I make an impact on the people's lives that I ran into? So
see, we need to have her on Quality Women, man, because she has a great outlook on a lot of things that we can bring to the public, man. Just to get under, because I would love to just pick your brain to be a hospice nurse.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And bringing. My opinion is just using healthcare and medicine to interface with the human condition and do something to minister to that process and bring dignity and choice to that process. But in that, you also get an opportunity to see behind the veil. See the person's deepest, darkest thoughts. They tell you things they've never shared. And you also get an opportunity to learn more about the regrets or the satisfaction and to see what they think about just that, what is left.
See, my question,
are you reading off a pamphlet over there?
No.
Oh, okay.
See, my question to you would be like, how do you separate, like, because to see somebody on their deathbed, man, and to not allow that to like lock into your subliminal, like, how do you mentally separate the two? Like, how do you keep that work and then live life over here? Because to see somebody about to die all the time, and you might build a relationship with them, because I'm pretty sure you work with them for how long do you usually have patients that come to hospital?
Some of them you have an opportunity, you have moments, you have minutes to lock in and make an impact, and then have to let go. That's all the life they have.
Just minutes.
That's tough.
Just minutes.
Hours and months to work towards building trust and to work towards deepening that bond, and that sometimes happens to still walk away.
Making the minutes count, man.
So how do I deal with it? I don't. It does. How do I say this? I make room. I've made a choice to make room to stand in the suffering of others and bear witness to the suffering, while still at the same time making it a responsible choice to recognize that that is not my suffering. I just witness that suffering. And so in that sense, when I step out of that, when I cross that threshold and walk out that front door, I leave that suffering there. And when I go back the next time, I choose to hold it with them for that while. And when I walk back out, I leave it there. And that's how I'm able to create that suffering.
That's pretty dope, man.
Wow.
That's
pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful.
Sheesh. Because I just imagine those, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does a doctor go through from a person who flatlines when they operate on them? Like, you know what I'm saying? What goes to their mind state?
I think.
Working on a patient, and that patient flatlines, most physicians take that flatline as a personal failure.
I think, though,
but they're
like,
trained to save lives, and they're trained to be successful, and when a person dies, it's seen as
a failure.
Until you are in a situation where you have chosen to walk alongside death. You have changed, you're working with the same tools, but you've had an opportunity to change the paradigm.
Because you can't really beat death.
You can't beat
death.
Like, you know,
like cardiologists and oncologists and ICU doctors. When you try, you end up making some real slippery slope ethical decisions because you have not yet allowed yourself to understand that it is not a personal failure of yours that this happened on your watch, but it is more you have taken them to the maximum extent of your knowledge and the capabilities of science, and the inevitable is happening. And that's just it. All of us were born on death row. And that's just it. That's the one guarantee.
Make sure you saving all this because she hitting us with some gems.
Hashtag all of us were born on death row.
Yeah, that's dope.
So how are you using your minutes?
14.
Knowing that at some point you checking out.
And you don't know that.
And you don't know that date.
You don't know when.
You don't know that date. And so, yeah.
What are you doing while you're here?
What are you doing? See, either you're gonna come over here and get in the conversation.
She needs a mic, man.
Right.
You need a mic, CG, because you over there hitting us with some gems right here. Let's see what you got going on out here, man. Shout out to those people who working in that field. Shout out to the medical field, man. I see what y'all doing out here, man.
Personal decision to embrace it, and like I said, make room to sit next to it.
How long have you been in the profession?
I've been at the bedside seeing death and dying for almost 20 years. But
Sheesh.
for making room has been a very unique, I'd say maybe for the last, accepting that it's happening and not being traumatized by the folks in the loss of choice surrounding how they're going to end their life. That was traumatic. That was a traumatic and ethical dilemma for me for years. But being able to even know that I had the privilege that there was a space to make room, that I think new within the last couple of years.
That's powerful, man. That's dope. That's dope, man. Because I honestly, I think I can do whatever I put my mind to, but to sit there and I don't know, that's tough. I guess that's why I'm not in the medical field right now, because that's tough. I don't like to see blood and shit all the time. Like, I can't do it.
I think, like most. Jesus Christ. Are you going to come over here and have this conversation?
You over there cooking? Go.
Yeah. Ken.
Most definitely. Most deaf.
A lot that I feel and a lot that I believe that I think is probably counter to popular thought on the issue.
And that's of a show right on. Speedy, I ain't about to deal with your shenanigans tonight. We ain't dealing with your shenanigans tonight, man.
No, what are you talking about? I'm just,
Go ahead, man.
I just feel like what you had said before, that I think like most things, because you had asked about like how do you experience that every day and like still like be able to walk away and be okay. I think like most things, you almost gotta get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I can see that.
Like a homicide detective just kind of gets used to seeing.
I guess like a mortician then too. Yeah,
right? Like a mortician gets it. Yeah, like a mortician.
There's two coping strategies. One is adaptive and one is maladaptive. And we're going to have to cope one way or the other if we choose to keep involving ourselves in the environment. And it's the reason that we burn out or develop.
She just look like Aisha Curry. Did you know that?
No.
Shout out to Aisha Curry.
Shout out to Aisha Curry and Steph Curry.
What's called compassion fatigue. Compassion fatigue is a phenomenon that is essentially the exact same neurobiologically and psychologically.
She's going scientific on this.
Except you're experiencing it from witnessing
She is going in right now.
So you run out of good feelings to feel towards seeing that. And usually compassion fatigue leads to burnout and cynicism and not really caring about, it doesn't bother you or shake you up at all that other people are suffering. You just don't have anything left to give.
How long did it take you to get to that point though?
I never have been there.
Never? So your first say so. Your first day in hospice, you build a relationship with that patient. They pass away. You
Shout
ain't
out to
feel no
hospice
remorse.
nurses.
No, I don't have compassion fatigue. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've never developed. I've always been really sensitive to the human part of the work. But I've been dealing with people who are dying for a long, long time. Me in transitioning over to hospice gave me an opportunity to have my own moral standards and my own ethical code mirror the work that I'm doing. So instead of saving people and not telling the whole truth and being a part of that process while they are dying, and really what they're looking for is choice, dignity, and permission, now I get to do that. And I get to advocate for that process.
One thing I'm gonna say, one thing for sure, two things for certain. When my 1440 up, they're gonna be like, man, he made every minute count as much as possible, man.
That's the point, man. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here, man.
That's why we're here.
LiveQualityMinutes.com, man. Be a part of your brand that supports you. Is that what I said? Support a brand that supports you.
Support a brand that supports you. I like that.
That's what it's about, man. You know
it is what it's about.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I didn't say you this today, but congratulations today for your victory. I didn't say it all day earlier.
I didn't really do anything. I just watched.
But your team won, man. God, you know what I mean. Damn it, your team won. Congratulations, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good win, and hopefully they can keep up the momentum going into the next week and the week after.
I can't say I hope y'all do that though, but from here on out, yeah. Congratulations today though. But I hope you lose every game after this one.
Oh, well, that's not very nice to say.
I know,
not
man.
Very nice to say.
At least y'all beat us. Well, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm over here bitter. I'm bitter.
I know.
Buzzing. Shout out to Jack.
Yeah, shout out to Jack. What else we got? Is anything else? Anything else we got to address before we?
Let's see. New releases next month.
Yeah, let's do that.
We got some new releases next month. Special, exclusive releases next month. I want to tell y'all what it is, but we'll get to y'all later on about the details. Follow Quality Minutes LLC on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube for further updates. For those who've ordered from livequalityminutes.com, make sure you're checking your emails.
Yeah.
Follow those instructions, please, because we're really trying to give you guys the acknowledgement that you deserve. You guys are
and quality products.
Yeah, for definitely quality products. Where about you? Like we say, man, we support you guys, man. Give us some feedback, hit us with, you know what I'm saying? Let us know how you feel about everything out there, you know.
Yeah, provide some feedback on the social media. Do you have, before we close out, do you have any quality music recommendations? Quality music recommendations.
Quality music recommendations. If you haven't tuned in to any of Griselda records,
they've had a really good last 2 months. They've had a good year, actually.
Man, is it just 1 year? Two? Look.
But I think 2020 specifically.
Yeah, they're going bananas right now. If you haven't tapped into Griselda records, please do. For those diehard hip hop heads out there in the world, your Mobb Deep fans, your the Locks fans, those mid 90s, early 2000 real hip hop bar loving type of people, please tap into Griselda.
Any project in particular? So if nobody's heard of Griselda, where would you start them?
I will start you. That's tough. Me personally, I was always a Conway the Machine fan. So I would direct you to Everybody Is Food. 1, 2, and 3.
EIF.
I would direct you also to Benny the Butcher, Tanner Talk 3. Benny the Butcher and 38 Special.
Stabbed and Shot.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
And can't forget about the Fly God. We're not even talking about Fly God yet.
Yeah. Hitler wears Hermes 7.
Supreme Blind Tail.
Supreme Blind Tail. I think that's where I would start people off with Supreme
Yeah.
Blind Tail.
Yeah, I think I'll start you with Supreme Blind Tail.
If it's going to be, if I'm going to start somebody off on each artist, definitely Supreme Blind Tail for Westside. I would say Plugs.
Ooh.
Plugs I met for Benny. And shoot, man, I don't know. A Black Tape, maybe. I agree. EIF. Everybody's
EIF,
food.
yeah, because he was gone. He was talking bananas on the EIF, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that yeah, these guys have a feel that will take you back where you were maybe post high schoolish.
Yeah. If you want to get them all in one, I would say Fourth Rope. Like if you want to get a feel for like what it sound.
But see, on Fourth Rope had a lot of songs off of Blind Tail though.
It did.
You know what I'm saying? Because Westside, one thing I will say about him, his CDs introduced the world to his gunners, which is Conway and Benny. So I would say Supreme Blind Tail would be a good starting point. Because they were on there talking bananas. Right?
Nitro.
Oh, God.
Luger.
Come on, man.
Vader.
And for those who, it might sound like we're speaking a different language, Griselda is signed by Rock Nation and Shady at the same time. Never been done in hip-hop history. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
3 billboards in Times Square right now. That's what they're doing.
That is
Shout
true.
out to Griselda, man.
Shout out to Griselda.
Shout out.
So I'll leave you with so I'll change it up a little bit, change the genre a little bit. So my quality music recommendation would be if you've never heard of Alex Isley. You ever heard of Alex Isley?
Actually, no.
You should listen to Alex Isley. She's a like I don't know, soul singer, R&B type singer. Great voice. She's actually Ron Isley's niece.
Oh,
or something like that.
Mr. Big niece?
Mr. Big, yeah. La, 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 la.
Shout out to Mr. Big.
Oh, did you hear me? La, da, 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 da.
You hear that joint? You hear that?
So yeah, Alex Isley. She's got some great music. Has an amazing voice. She did one of those tiny desk concerts that NPR does. So go on YouTube and then look it up. She has an amazing voice. Please go listen to Alex Isley. I love her voice. So
that's dope. I definitely tap in, man.
Tap in. So Griselda, Alex Isley, make every minute count.
Make sure you tap in. LiveQualityMinutes.com. Subscribe to LiveQualityMinutes.com.
Yes.
Your feedback, your support is important. We want to hear from you to make your brand better. You know, it's not just ours, it's for you. So give us any feedback that is necessary, you know, just let us know, you know, and we're going to try our best to make sure we make every minute count for you as well. We in this together, people. You understand? This is our brand. Hard workers, great individuals, and just winners. This is a winning brand, damn it. And to that, I salute the winners today. Salute my brethren.
I can't add anything else to that. Y'all have
make every minute count.
Make every minute count. Follow us.
Fire Harbaugh.